got your ticket, drop it in the comments because I'm ready to party with you. Things to know. I did get notification this morning that Summit Hotel Block will be available starting tomorrow. So I think Natalie already put a post up in the event page. If you're looking for a roommate, go over there, get connected so that when you guys go to book your room, you can do that. And just so you know, if it says that there's no rooms available, calm down, it'll be okay. St. Louis is filled with all sorts of hotel rooms. More will open up, so don't stress over that. But get your ticket, get your booty to Summit. We also have other events that are happening coming up. Next year's Success Club trip, we've got the the quarter 3 rewards day, and we will have the Divine Retreat. So all good things, amazing things. I want to say a huge thank you to everyone who participated in this year's summit. Holy crap. That was everything that my heart needed and more. I don't have the words. I didn't have the words, and I don't know if I'll ever have the words, but my emotions are just like so heavily like full of gratitude. Like I don't even know what to do with this. So thank you for being such a vital part of my life. Y'all mean the world to me. So anyways, tonight Leah is doing team call. So I'm going to pass it over to her. Girlfriend is going to rock this thing. Get it, girl.
Hi guys, I am Leah. I don't know what else to say for an introduction other than that. I have been a Beachbody coach for just over a year now. I just took part in my first ever summit going to Nashville with a lot of these beautiful ladies, and it was so good. And that is where this subject that I wanted to talk about today stemmed from, because we talked a lot about let's stop focusing on the things that we're not good at and need to change, and instead focus on the places that we thrive, the things that we are so good at, that we know we're good at, and taking that and making that like just building on that and bringing value from that. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. I am calling it Finding Your Superpower. I know I have used the word niche a lot. Like, I want to find my niche. I want to find like that thing. And then I realized like I'm a human. I don't have like a niche because I have so many things about me that I can bring to the table that can bring value to people. So I want to kind of erase the niche stigma, because then that puts us in a box of we can only share these sorts of things. We can only do one thing because this is our niche. So instead saying like, I have this superpower, or I have all of these superpowers and I'm going to build on that. And that's how I'm going to bring value. Let's see. So like, if you're already thinking like, oh, well, I don't like have anything I'm like really good at, like, I don't know, you're wrong. There's something you thrive in. And like, let's just bring it surface level, whether it's doing your hair and makeup, doing your kids' hair and makeup, cooking, organizing, anything. There are so many things that you can be so good at. So think about something that is just like super surface level, like I'm really freaking good at this. And then how can you bring value from that? So say, I love doing my hair and makeup. Am I the best at it? I don't know. I love doing it so much. And I have had people ask me like, how do you do your hair like that? How do you do your makeup like that? And so I'm bringing them value whenever I'm sharing about those things that I already enjoy doing, I already love, and I know that I think I'm good at it. So I'm like, I'm going to use this so that I can bring value to other people. Now that's like a super surface level example, but I think we can like dig deeper in that and just know that like there are things we're good at, and that's how we're going to help people as we move forward just in life, just bringing value any way that we can. And instead of being like, oh, but I'm not really good at this, so I'm not going to succeed because I'm not good at this one thing. There are so many other things that you can pull from and maybe not focus on that. There's people that are good at that. Let them do that. And you can use their resources. And I bet that there is something that you're good at that they're not, that they can pull from you. And I think that's why like a team or collaborating or finding success partners or finding people that you just like want to run with, things like that is so important, because truly, as we talked about, like together is the only way. Like you have to have other people to lean on. It takes a village, as we know, as a lot of us are mothers, like it takes a village to do things because we can't do everything ourselves. So find your superpowers, find things you're really good at, and you know you can help other people by doing those things. And then you can reach out to people who are maybe good at things that you're not good at or don't thrive in, and they can help you. So it's like, we don't have to rely on only ourselves. We don't have to do everything. When I first started coaching, I was like, there's no way I can do this. I can't make a meal plan. I can't make graphics. I can't do this. I can't do that. I will never be a successful coach. I'm like, now there are so many resources. There are people who are experts at making meal plans. I have no business doing that. So why was I even trying? Like, I'm not a nutritionist. We have resources for that. There are people who are experts, and we have to stop trying to be the expert in things that we don't necessarily need to be. Like, when there are so many resources and there are so many other people who are good at that, don't let that deter you from thinking that you can be successful, because truly you can be successful. And that's how we are successful, by being a team, by collaborating, by reaching out and getting other resources. Kelsey knows my favorite word is third-party tools, like getting those third-party tools outside of your superpowers. And then you can be that third-party tool for someone else whenever it's your time to shine, your superpower. Like, you have that thing that you know you're really good at. So I think that it's important to dig deeper into, okay, now how do I bring value to people? And that's where we kind of like take that, okay, here's my superpower. Like, so Kelsey told me that my superpower is celebrating like the little things in life. Like, I like to make everything extra as hell. Like, I found out the gender of my baby, I made a balloon garland and put it up in my living room, and like made my boyfriend do a backdrop. I have soft light boxes, and like, I'm so extra. And I'm like, we're doing a whole photo shoot because we found out my baby's a girl, right? And I'm just like the most extra. I like to find any reason to celebrate things. I like to find any reason to blow up balloons, pop confetti, do all the things. And like, I realized whenever she said that, I was like, I do that for me, but like, I can bring value to people by making them realize that you can celebrate the little things in life. You can celebrate every single day just because it's your life, like, because it's worth celebrating. It doesn't have to be some big monumentous moment. It can just be like a little thing, like, oh my gosh, I drank my shake today and I hadn't in a week. Okay, celebrate it. Like, make it a deal, make it a thing, like make it a monumentous moment, even if it's not, because honestly, we live in those little moments. We don't live in these big grand moments every single day. We live in these little in-betweens. So if we can learn to celebrate that, find joy in that, find joy in all of the little things in life, and just like be extra about it, I think that that's how I can bring value to people, is showing them that that is a great way to like enjoy life. Because if we're just waiting, sorry, I'm having trouble hearing you. Siri's, oh my watch, Siri's having trouble hearing me. If we're like waiting for these big grand things to happen in our life all the time, we're going to be miserable most of the time, because we're just waiting and waiting and waiting for these big things to happen. And instead, why don't we just say, like, we can celebrate right now because I did this little thing or this thing happened. Like, it doesn't have to be crazy, but I love taking little things, little moments in life and finding the most joy in them. I like to find any reason to, like I said, pop confetti and just do the most, really. Um, so also, I think that our story, which we talk about a lot, like our why we started, where we're at now, our transformation, your story is also one of your superpowers. Like that is probably your strongest superpower is your story, sharing your value and like sharing like here's what I can do for you because here's what this did for me. Talking about Beachbody specifically, like this is how this changed my life. Here is my story. Here is like my beginning, middle, end. And that can bring so much value to someone and you don't even know it. And Amy talked about probably a few weeks ago, like you can tell your story in so many different ways. You can pick pieces of your story that can bring value to people. For example, like right now I'm going through kind of a hard time just like connecting with my pregnancy. And that's just part of my story right now. Like I worked really hard to get my body back after being a year postpartum. And then I took the whole year to like do the damn thing. And so now I feel like I'm in this like backwards and I know that it's not. So I'm trying to work on the mindset, but I'm really struggling. Like it just is. That's part of my story. And so I shared that. And there were people who reach out like, I needed that. Like, I feel the same way. Like, and I didn't even know that other people would connect with it. I'm like, I'm just sharing this just in case, because I know that like, I needed this. I needed to share it more than anything. And like, if no one else needs it, I needed to get this off my, and someone else's life, like sharing your story, sharing your every day, sharing the little things, the little struggles, the little wins, the big struggles, the big wins, sharing all of it is your superpower because it will bring value to people's lives. They will connect with that. They will feel that. They will need that. It is not insignificant. Your life is not insignificant. Your story is so important. Whether you know it or not, you could really impact someone just by saying like, here I am, here's my story. And someone might be like, that is everything and more. Like I needed that more than you freaking knew. And that could be the thing that literally like got them through the day just because you shared your story. So don't think that the little things that maybe seem little to you don't matter, that they don't bring value, that they aren't significant. Like that is your superpower. Your story is your biggest superpower. So yeah, you have these little things like hair and makeup and organizing your pantry or whatever. Like you have these other superpowers, but your strongest superpower is sharing your story, period. Like doesn't matter. And you're like, no, I don't think my story is that strong. I don't think that's my superpower. No, it is. You just don't know it yet because you haven't put it out there to connect with people, for someone to say like, I needed you to share your story today. Like that is exactly how I'm going to get through this day, get through this week, get through this life, because you're sharing and you're bringing value to them. Let me see. I got off on a little tangent there. But yeah, I don't think I have much more to say. Sorry, that was short and sweet, but just, I think moral, wrap it up. You have value, whether you think so or not. Find the things, like sit down, write 5 things that you're like, I'm pretty good at this. right? And then build on that. And then you'll find that one thing that you're like, no, like I am really good at this. I should be sharing that. I should be bringing value to people. I should be sharing my story, because this piece of my story, this piece of my life, this reason that helped me, whatever it may be, like it will help someone. So don't hesitate to share that, to share your superpowers, and to just continue to bring value to people's lives. And I think that's all I have to say.
Holy hell.
Mother of pearl. Holy mind blowing.
That's it, you guys. That's all.
That's all you need. Oh my gosh, how powerful is that? Like, we talk about storytelling so much. And the reason I got on the subject of storytelling was Danielle Natoni on a national wake-up call. She's like, if you're having problems in your business, you have to go back to your story. And I'm like, damn, that's just like light bulb, right? But saying like your superpower is your story, like, okay, I hear you. All right. Like, we're all on the same train going down the same track, and I freaking love it. Like, amazing.
Does anyone have any questions or anything?
I just want to say I literally miss all of you. Like, genuinely miss you. Like, I want to like hug you through the screens. I want to go back. I just want to hang out more. Like, I genuinely miss you all.
Leah, that was freaking gold.
I want to say thank you for the permission to not have to always post about my niche, because it makes me so mad. Like, find your niche, find the 4 or 5 things that you always have to talk about. And I get so damn frustrated and tired of talking about the same shit all the time. I want to talk about something else.
Yeah.
So thank you for the permission to like not have to do that.
You don't have to put yourself in this box of like, this is my niche. And like, when I was writing out like what I wanted to say today, I was like, I feel like the word niche is wrong. Like, it's, for me anyway, like, it's just, I was on a call a while back and she was like, find your niche, find your one thing. So I posted about the same thing for like 2 weeks. And I'm like, this isn't bringing me any sort of joy. Like, I feel forced. Like, I just want to share my story. I want to share things that bring me joy and that I know I can help people with. Yeah. So don't feel like you have to put yourself in a box of like, I can only post about these 5 things. Like, no, post about what brings you joy, post about your story, post about your things that you think you can bring value to people. And if it's not the same 4 or 5 things all of the time, then post about whatever that is.
Right. I totally get why we should have a few things that we're really good at, a few things that we want to target, like the different types of people. But dang it, I want to talk about more than just being the frustrated mom of 3 who's sick of her children. You know, I want to talk about more than being a cat mom and everything. Like, you can venture out. You don't have to be in a box, you know?
Totally.
Well, and that's what our speaker last night, I'm sorry, my dog's going crazy, but that's what she kind of talked about when it was about posting, and it was like more broad, sorry. And you don't, I mean, you have, how did you put it? Like, you have your pillars, but then you have stuff under it. And then my biggest question was like, for me, you can have one, like your transformation can go into more than one bucket. Like, it could be part of my like promo and my sales, or, you know, my invites, but then it's also part of like motivation and, you know, my journey. So like, you can also do your things that you're used to doing, but like spin it differently too. And so I think that helped a lot and also giving permission not to post like every single day or having it be absolutely perfect. And even in her like speech last night, even if you're just posting 3 to 4 times a week, that's like enough. Like, you don't have to be killing yourself to post daily. But yes, that was really golden. And I've never thought of like, because my superpower, like, yeah, there's things I'm good at, but then I'm like trying to pinpoint those more. But then when you said use your story, like, that really hit so much of like, okay, yeah, I do have a big story. So maybe I should like go more into that. And so I think that's like huge and will help a lot of people.
I
Totally.
think it is like all a process of self-awareness too. When you really start digging into the pieces of your story, it's really going to open a lot of doors for you and make you really think about a lot of things that you may have just put away for a while. Like, let's just forget about all of that. We're here now. And a lot of us don't want to go back to that place because we're afraid to go back to that place. We're afraid to go back to that person who we were. But the person that we were are the people that you're talking to now. And they're the people that need your light. They're the people that need your motivation. They're the people that need to know you're not just a robot that just like overnight transformed. You went through a lot of things to get to this point. And if you can really own it and live in it and be so grateful for the person who got you here, like that's a whole nother ball game. That will change how you speak, how you walk, how you talk to people, and it'll make you less afraid about telling your story so many different times over and over and over again in so many different ways and not be ashamed about it, not one bit, because it's freaking incredible that you're even here now. Like, why wouldn't you want to talk about this? This is life-changing. And I have never heard anyone who's been able to wrap all of that up in the most perfect burrito like you have, Leah. Like, if it was me, I'd probably still be talking, and it's totally cool. My superpower are my words, okay? But Leah's superpower, she's like, let's get it done. I'm gonna tell you how it goes, and we're gonna put this shit away, okay? Now go do something with it.
That's awesome.
I just love like the letting go of the shame, letting go of having to be in a box, letting go of the standards, like forget what everyone's telling you and like own up to who you are, like celebrating yourself. I think that is the biggest thing. Like all the goosebumps. You freaking rocked it, girl. Loved it.
Thank you. Thanks for letting me speak.
We are so grateful. Does anyone have any other questions for her before we hop off of here? Okay.